This is a message from the emergency alert system. This is not a test. The New York City Office of Emergency Management has issued a public safety warning regarding a recent surge in missing person reports throughout the boroughs of Manhattan, Brooklyn, and Queens. Over the past 48 hours, local authorities have documented over 30 disappearances, primarily in neighborhoods near subway stations, utility tunnels, and sewage infrastructure. The majority of these incidents occurred between the hours of 10 p.m. and 5 o'clock a.m. Witnesses report hearing strange human voices in distress in the affected areas, though no individuals were located upon investigation. Do not enter subway tunnels, sewer access points, or maintenance areas without authorization. Avoid traveling alone after dark, particularly near utility buildings, alleyways, and older infrastructure. Law enforcement and emergency services are conducting ongoing investigations. Further updates will be provided as new information becomes available. Repeat. Do not investigate suspicious sounds or voices coming from underground or isolated areas. This is an evolving situation. Remain indoors at night and follow guidance from local authorities. This is a message from the emergency alert system. This is not a test. The New York City Office of Emergency Management is issuing an updated public threat bulletin for all residents. In the last 6 hours, emergency dispatchers have received multiple 911 calls from citizens claiming to hear the voices of missing persons coming from storm drains, sewer grates, and abandoned subway shafts. These reports have been confirmed by law enforcement body cams and dispatch audio. Several search teams investigating these areas have also been reported missing. In some cases, rescue workers were lured underground by what appeared to be the distinct voice of a loved one calling for help. Surveillance audio recovered from one such team is currently under analysis. A redacted portion of one transmission is transcribed below. Dispatch, we hear him. It's Brian. I swear to God it's Brian. He's calling for us. Wait, that's not. He's not saying it right. It's like he's stuck on a word. It's repeating. We need to. Wait, who's that? Behind. Unintelligible screaming. It is now believed that an unknown subterranean organism or group of organisms is capable of imitating human speech. The source appears to mimic recently lost individuals to draw victims closer. The threat is considered hostile and predatory. Immediate instructions. Do not respond to voices heard in underground or isolated locations. Do not enter subway systems, maintenance tunnels, or sewer access points for any reason. Do not follow voices that appear to sound like family, friends, or missing persons. Emergency services are suspending all underground rescue operations until further notice. A curfew will take effect at 12 o'clock a.m. midnight and remain in place until the threat is contained. Further information will be broadcast shortly. Remain indoors. Do not trust the voice. This is an emergency alert issued by your local authorities. Please remain calm, and listen closely to the following message. At approximately 4:28 p.m., local surveillance systems detected an unidentified biological entity emerging from a storm drain at the intersection of Feldman Street and 7th Avenue. The entity is described as approximately 2 meters tall, red and translucent, lacking eyes, and possessing 4 limbs ending in claw-like digits. Despite its grotesque appearance, The entity did not exhibit any aggression or violent behavior upon surfacing. It stood upright, moved with a natural fluidity, and what was observed speaking in the voice of a missing local resident. Please. I'm cold. It's me, Robert. Please help. I don't know where I am. Witnesses initially approached the being, believing it was a survivor or victim. Upon closer proximity, however, several individuals reported an overwhelming sense of dread and a noxious, ammonia-like odor. Authorities arrived within minutes, but the entity descended back into the sewer tunnels before containment was possible. Local officials confirm this is not an isolated incident. Multiple subterranean audio recordings indicate the presence of at least 6 similar entities communicating with one another using perfect human speech. These creatures appear to operate as a pack, and have likely been residing within tunnel systems beneath the town for an undetermined period of time. Do not enter any manholes, subway tunnels, maintenance shafts, or storm drains. Do not respond to voices calling for help near storm drain entrances. If you hear a friend or loved one's voice in an unusual location, assume it is a false mimic. Authorities urge all residents to stay indoors after dark, lock all doors and windows, and report any strange sounds, especially voices calling for help where they shouldn't be. It is imperative that you do not engage with these entities under any circumstances. Further updates will be provided as information becomes available. The following message is being broadcast at the request of the United States government. This is an immediate life-threatening emergency. Shelter in place and remain absolutely silent. As of 11:07 p.m. Eastern Time, multiple entities classified as biological anomalies, previously identified as hostile organic entities 939A through 939E, have emerged from underground tunnels and utility networks beneath New York City. The attacks began in the following boroughs: Midtown Manhattan, Lower East Side, Queens, Sunnyside, Brooklyn, Downtown, Bronx, Fordham. Civilians in these areas reported hearing familiar voices calling for help from alleyways, manholes, sewer grates, and abandoned buildings. Those who responded have not been seen again. Warning. Extreme danger. Each of the 5 confirmed entities is capable of perfect vocal mimicry, often replicating voices of missing loved ones, first responders, or crying children. It's okay. It's safe out here. Over here. I need help. Don't be afraid. Just listen to me. Entities possess enhanced strength, speed, and climbing ability, and can navigate buildings vertically and underground. Evacuation efforts are ongoing but chaotic, with multiple first responder teams unaccounted for. Law enforcement confirms at least 89 fatalities across 5 boroughs in under 22 minutes. Critical notice. Unseen 6th entity present. A 6th creature. Designated Entity 939F. The matriarch has not yet emerged, but surveillance detects significant movement beneath Central Park Reservoir and nearby subway lines. All ambient audio recordings near the zone have registered low-frequency vibrations, multiple overlapping voices, and what may be in utero movement. The breathing is louder now. Something big is under the reservoir. There's more of them. I can hear them crawling. Containment teams are refusing to enter the tunnels, citing extreme psychological effects, including panic, hallucinations, and hearing voices of the deceased. It is now believed the 6th entity is spawning new organisms, possibly preparing for a mass emergency event. Stay indoors. Remain silent. Do not trust human voices outside. Expect further alerts within the hour. If you see or hear any of the following, do not engage. Voices coming from air vents, sewer grates, or broken intercoms. Loved ones speaking outside during curfew. breathing sounds without a visible source, walls or floors vibrating rhythmically. This is not a drill. New York City is under attack. Sound is their hunting tool. Silence is your own.
On July 22nd, 2025, at approximately 9:30 p.m. Eastern, the city of New York fell silent, but not empty. Residents described hearing familiar voices from the dark, spouses, children, parents, calling for help, pleading, screaming, whispering. But those voices were not human. They were perfect copies. Of the estimated 8.4 million residents in the metro area, fewer than 3,000 were confirmed evacuated before the final breach. We now know the creatures, designated entity 939, emerged from beneath the city in a coordinated pattern. First from sewers, then from power stations, then from inside homes. Interview audio over blurred faces. Survivor. It sounded just like my mom. She died in 2012, but I heard her at the door, laughing. On the morning of July 23rd, a final radio transmission was received from within Lower Manhattan. A firefighter's voice, panicked and breaking up, simply said, "It's in the water now. They're coming from the pipes. Don't." Shortly after, all signals ceased. New York was declared a lost zone. In the weeks that followed, mimicry events spread to surrounding regions. It is still unknown how far their influence has truly gone. Whispers from faucets, footsteps in attics, recordings that play voices no one remembers making. We now live in a world where a knock on the door could be anyone or anything. Trust has become dangerous, and sound, once a comfort, now carries death. To this day, no recovery operations have been launched into the lost zone. All personnel who attempt to re-enter New York vanish within 6 minutes. Their voices, however, are still heard. They don't just mimic the voice, they learn the soul.